Hello everyone, Rurikhan here coming at you with another video. Welcome back to New World, and today we're going to be talking about queues because you see we've had an interesting development. Ever since we've had the server maintenance the other day, which was also the day that they implemented patch 1.01, the queues have been significantly lower or even non-existent for a lot of servers, even at peak times, which was something that caught me a little bit off guard because initially I was like, oh, does this mean that there's less people playing? Because that's kind of like the conclusion that you tend to jump to, oh, there's less queues, there's less people that are playing the game. But at the same time, if you really think this through, it doesn't really add up because it's like, so you're telling me one day before the server maintenance, there was queues nonstop, and then the day after server maintenance, there's not as many queues, and that's the only thing that happened. So what? There was a server maintenance and everybody lost interest in playing the game? I don't think that's the case at all. As a matter of fact, there is a website that tracks the current status of New World servers. I've used this website before to check whether or not there was a queue on my server to see if it was safe to log out because, sometimes I need to go take a break or something, and I would gladly log out. The thing is, if I want to then make videos about the game, I'm actually not allowed to log out because I'm not going to be able to log back in a reasonable fashion due to the fact that there were actually a lot of people using stuff like auto clickers and whatnot to stay in the game even though they weren't playing the game. But as you can see, we're not really at peak time at this point. It is currently 5:33 p.m. In Europe. This is British Standard Time essentially because I'm in Portugal, which shares a time zone with the England. And then you have here 500,000 players in the world right now. And if we actually go to the queues for all of the servers worldwide, because the website actually tells you how many people are in queue, there's still a couple of servers that do have queues, but it is way less than it used to be. So I've sorted this by players in queue. And as you can see, we have Jotunheim here in Europe. Right now, most of the servers that are going to have queue are going to be in Europe because, this is coming up close to Europe peak time. But you will see that these are much smaller queues, and even in the big queues, look at the average wait time that you have. Now, this average wait time is calculated because this website, I don't know if this is even like an official website. I don't know how they're getting this information. I'm assuming there's some kind of API or whatever, but this average wait time is calculated by them seeing how fast people are getting into the server and how many people are in queue, and they can kind of like calculate it that way. So if you see right here that, for instance, for Hyperborea, the fact that 1,000 players in queue is an estimated queue of 1 hour, that's not too shabby because, in other servers like Anwin, you'll see that it's actually 2 hours and 32 minutes. I'm assuming that some of these servers, some people are still working to kind of like get around the systems that they've implemented to, deal with people that are using auto clickers because they did say that they were going to do that. But my server, for instance, which at this point in time would usually have a queue of like 800 people, actually has no one. Like my server is Nav, and it was one of those big servers that was like super overly populated. It is very close to capacity right now. We're looking at 1,953 people. But right now, no queues, and a lot of servers don't even have queues. Now, like I said, there's still the more popular servers that are going to have queues, naturally. Some of these queues are a little bit faster. There seems something wrong here with 179 and almost 2 hours of queue. There might be some fishy going on there. We might want to be looking into that. But, a lot of the servers no longer have these queues, and there's, the actual populations of those servers, they're not all on low either. We can check that in game in just a couple of seconds here, but this is just to give you guys an idea. And I've been keeping track of this even like later into the night. Like yesterday, I was checking this up at like 2 in the morning, and there wasn't that much queue in the US either. So this is basically to say that this is not a situation where people have lost interest in the game, because I know that a lot of people are going to start, doing the whole thing of, oh, there's less people in queue, dead game. But as you guys can see, I'm going to refresh the website here one more time, and you'll notice 524,000 concurrent players right now, of which there are a couple of them in queues, true. Oh, wow, these average times are getting pretty friggin' bonkers. How did this just like rise up to 7 hours? Okay, maybe the calculation of times is not as accurate as I would have liked, but still, this is nothing compared to what it was last week, okay? Not even remotely close. And this is done simply due to the fact that, you know, they're catching people who are using these third-party programs to stay in the game even though they're not playing the game. And these people are being kicked out of the server and freeing up space for people that actually want to play the game. Like, I've been pretty happy since the maintenance, because I can actually log out of the game and not wonder, oh, am I going to be able to play again today? That because there just haven't been any queues in my server. Now, I still want to leave my server, and I still want them to bring those server transfers, which they said they would, because I want to join friends in a different server, which they said was going to be a sync. Because I've been telling people, if you want to play this game, you know, and you eventually want to play with me, just go to another server that doesn't have a queue, and then we'll figure something out later. And I'm sure that a lot of people have done that because that's what they've promised. So server transfers should be coming. But let's take a look at the worlds actually inside the game, because you can also check the queue inside the game. If you do this and then scroll all the way to the top, it'll show you pretty much the same information that we were looking at in the website there. And you'll notice there are a couple of players in queue, and there's still significantly high populations, a lot of servers. There's a couple of mediums, but one thing that I've noticed is that there are no low servers anymore. So I don't think we're going to be seeing any more servers being added. If anything, most likely we're going to be seeing a couple of server mergers at this point. And when the server mergers happen, once again, we are going to be seeing that argument of like, oh my God, game's dead. And again, no, these server mergers were supposed to happen because that's always the way it goes with MMOs. There's thousands upon thousands of people that want to play day one. They want to play that first week. They want to log in, and they're going to be battering down those servers with a battering ram. Everybody's just like basically trying to jump in. And obviously at the same time, you're going to have the usual trollers that are going to be doing DDoS attacks and all of that stuff, which we've also seen during the launch of New World. But as you can see right now, for instance, US West, this is a bad time for US West. US East would be like a better litmus test. This is probably like, I think we're looking at about noon US East right now. And as you can see, there's like a couple of servers with a one-person queue and nothing else at noon on US. This is like lunch break. Some people might actually get to play a little bit during lunch. But everything seems to be holding just fine, which, like I said, all it takes is for players to not artificially stay inside the game, and that is going to clear up the queues pretty damn fast. Now, am I saying that what they did was ideal, that they didn't underestimate their launch? Of course not. They clearly messed up the launch when it came to the amount of players that they were expecting to play the game, because there was just a lot more interest than they initially predicted, which always seems to be the case when it comes to MMOs. There's always more interest than the developers can predict for whatever crazy reason. They can never predict how many players want to actually play the game. But, you know, I just feel like server transfers is something that they should have done a lot faster. Although, I'm not sure that they should have, you know, enabled them and just given everyone a free transfer instantly. I'm saying they should have developed server transfers from the get-go and have them ready to just flip the switch. And they didn't have that. And I kind of find that to be a flaw in and of itself. But basically, the idea of this video is to just tell you guys, you know, when your friends start telling you, oh man, game's dead, there's no queues anymore, it's like, what do you mean? Now that there's no queues, now is definitely the time to play, because there's no queues. You can actually log in and play the game. Doesn't that make sense? But yeah, like I said, I'm still going to be jumping out of this server because right now, I'm even seeing something that I might be doing a video covering this particular topic later. But I'm already seeing groups of people like looking for more on like recruitment chat. And they're already going like, looking for more, know what you're doing. And I'm just like, seriously? Week 1 and you want everyone to know the strats for your expedition group? Like, what are we doing here? Like, you want me to go make a guide on YouTube so that everybody knows the strategies of every single expedition in the game so that you can point them to a video already? Like, come on, dude, this is week 1. But people are already doing that, and that is, again, one of the reasons why I want to just get the hell out of my server. Too many people here just, like, boosting through the leveling process, and I'm just like, just chill. Everybody just chill. But basically, long story short, everything's still fine with the game. We don't have queues. Good time to play. Can't wait for server transfers to be enabled so that I can jump to another server, hopefully play with some of you guys. We might even be making a company. We'll see how all of that stuff pans out. But for now, that is going to be it. Thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay strong. Stay safe. Keep your shields up, Iron Breakers. Peace out.